Hey everybody, so I wanted to do a short video on Charles Manson because I recently had my hair done, and the lady that did, or the lady that helped with my hair actually was a transporter. She would also work for the Department of Corrections, and she was a transporter for Charles Manson. And this hub is in Dinuba, California, and it's about 15 minutes from where I live. And she said that anything that comes out of his cell is worth like a ton of money. And then he makes spiders all the time. That's all he does, is he makes little paper spiders and stuff, and they have to, like, I guess they log everything, take everything, and because they can't go out to the public. Also that he has like a whole setup, like a whole like apartment there. He has a computer, a room, like a whole little house. You're not allowed to talk to him, and no one's ever allowed to make any eye contact with him. And they always keep what's called a spit mask over him. That's what she said. So that he cannot look into your eyes, because supposedly if he looks into your eyes, he can instantly hypnotize you to kill anybody. So, I mean, no matter how you cut this story, is something weird is going on. And that they transport him to Los Angeles, and they had just transported him. This is right around Halloween. They had just transported him and then brought him back. So, I would be interested to know why they're transporting him. It wasn't anything medical, I asked. I didn't let on to too much stuff, except for that I said, they're probably using him for rituals. But, I mean, he is like the king of the occult right now that's living on the planet, in my opinion. Especially, demonology. So, very interesting. You're not allowed to make eye contact with him because he can supposedly hypnotize you into killing anybody. And if you believe that, then you gotta believe in the satanic super soldiers theory. I mean, that, or at least accept it or entertain it. Not necessarily subscribe to it, but at least entertain it and think about it, because hypnosis is real. We've seen it. So there's that, and maybe it's not really him. Maybe it's not him that's in the prison cell. They're never allowed to see his face. No one's ever seen his face, she said. What if they're switching people out all the time, and someone's actually holding his place, and he's doing something else? So that is something to think about. I think it's interesting. I mean, definitely the Fourth Reich is most certainly operating within this realm right now. So that's my tidbit on Charles Manson's transporter doing my hair. And I don't want to get into too much of that. But a spit guard, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Spiders, I thought that was very interesting. Weaving spiders come not here. Just a brief thing about the spiders, really quickly. I, for a long time, thought nothing about this dream that I had. I thought, for a long time, I just thought, there must have been a metaphorical. It was definitely a prophetic dream that I had, and I knew that. I was about 22 when I had this dream, 21, 22. Probably 21. And in this prophetic dream that I had, part of it, I won't go into the whole thing, part of it was that Mark Condi, the church pastor for Savior's Community here in town, that both of his daughters were cocooned. As we're passing, I'm in spirit, I'm passing over this guy, he's got my head, and we're passing over, I look into the orchard towards Reagan Road, and I see that both his daughters, their names are Karis and Rachel, that they're cocooned to trees, walnut trees. And I remember thinking, that it was like spiders, that they were like cocooned, and that it was going to be okay, like that we were going to fix it, we're going to go back, we're going to make it okay, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, they're going to be okay, they're going to be okay. And for a long time, I thought it must have been this like metaphorical transformation that everybody's going to go through, that type of thing. And then I started learning about the spiders that like appear and disappear and then reappear in the Bible, and they disappear again. And what is it about these spiders? And we have to say, oh, well, that's just people making things up. Well, let's think about it. We got Bohemia Grove, we got the Owl Society, we have all these things, owls versus spiders. We have signs with owls that say, weaving spiders come not here. So that is all up for a serious debate on whether or not spiders came out of nowhere like that. And like they say, the spider plague already came. Like all the spiders that we have on the planet, that is the spider plague. So anyways, these were giant spiders, I'm guessing, because I didn't see them. But I also had another dream. I don't get too much into the dreams, but I also had another dream that things were coming out of a different dimension. And I was trying to get my friend and her daughters to come with me, that we need to go to this place to be safe. And that like they were coming, it was coming. And her husband was like, don't believe her, don't listen to her, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I was like starting to cry, like, you gotta come with me, like I don't have time to explain this to you, I gotta go too. And I ran, and then when I ran, we got to the other side of the river right here where all this stuff is happening now. I got to the other side of the river and we saw all these little parachutes coming down everywhere. They were just like little parachutes, and I don't know if they were like orbs or like parachutes, but I remember thinking they were like little parachutes, little white people, but I don't know if they were small people or I was looking and they looked, you know, a certain way, but the spiders were definitely there. And it's weird, I was like kind of tripped out to hear that he makes a bunch of little paper spiders and like he'll try to give them away and do weird stuff. And also, on a note of Charles Manson, when I was in church, I went to like all the different church functions that they had and stuff like my whole life. And so one of the things that they had was a speaker that came from, I don't know where, but he somewhere worked in Corcoran, where Charles Manson is, and he had a friend who was a psychiatrist, and she went in there to study him, and he asked for her sweater, and she gave it to him, and I guess, like, having her sweater, he was able to do things to her, like, I don't know, put her in a mental institution. It ended up being, like, she was done after that. So, I guess that's it on Charles Manson. I just thought it was interesting. Anybody who's interested in this kind of stuff with the mind control and 13 chairs and all that kind of stuff is interested in this, so... There you go, Charles Manson, interesting note.